Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and today we're going to do a tier list for Joji songs, aka George Miller, aka Filthy Frank. I'm going to look at all of his songs from In Tongues all the way through to Nectar. So the tiers we've got are God tier, banger, good, listenable, and nah. So we're going to go through all of them and put them in the tier list. So first up is Will He in Tongues. And personally, I think this is Joji's best vocals of the entire EP that dropped. It's got a nice simple piano in the background. It's a nice chill song and it's really catchy as well, to be honest with you. So Will He, I think, is a solid banger. It's a solid way to open this EP. And for me, it is one of the better songs of the EP. The next song on the album is Pills. In my opinion, Pills feels like a very experimental track. It has pretty decent vocals and it's quite a chill song. I don't think it's at the caliber of Will He though. So for that reason, I'm just going to put it just below Will He. I'm just going to put it in good for now. I think it's a solid song. It's a good part of the EP, but it's not quite on the level of Will He, in my opinion. So next up we have Demons in Tongues, and in my opinion, Demons it's got quite a unique backing track. I'm not quite sure on the instrumentals, but I do think the backing track is somewhat unique. In this song, Joji is not as strong vocally, but there is something quite satisfying about the honesty in which he presents through his vocals in this song. I wouldn't say it's quite as catchy as the other two we've just previously gone through, but a really good part of this track, in my opinion, is after the 2-minute mark, when it gets really... the vocals and the instrumentals get very nice and very chilled and quite soothing. And overall, I'd say it's probably at a similar level as Pills. So for that reason, I've got no choice but to put Demons alongside Pills in the good category. Next up we have Window. For Window, I really enjoy the simple, bassy backing track that's on the song. This song kind of has a bit of a soft spot with me personally. For me, this track has got a big soft spot, but it's for some reason not as popular as some of his other tracks. But for me, I really do enjoy the song. I would say the track is quite an experimental track. I would say it's not his best vocal performance by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think it really matters in this performance. And for me personally, I'm going to put it in good. I was tempted to put it up to banger, but I feel like good is a very strong place for Window to go. Window will be going in good alongside two of the other tracks. Next up we have Bitter Fuck, and Bitter Fuck is quite a playful chorus. It's not very serious, it doesn't seem very professional, but it has got something to it that makes it quite enjoyable. The song is quite catchy, but I do feel like it's the same thing over and over again. It's got the same lyrics repeatedly and the same backing track just repeating over and over again, which is why I'm not sure whether to put it in good or listenable. I do feel like it's got to be in one of those two, and I'd say compared to the rest of them there, it has to go in listenable. It's not quite as good as the three we've got in good, so I'll put it in listenable. It's definitely not a nah, but if I was to choose between good and listenable, I'd probably put it at the top end of listenable. Next up in the In Tongues EP, we have World Star Money. To be honest, there's nothing much to this song, if I'm being honest. It's not personally something that I would listen to. There's hardly any vocals in it, and it's got very strange instrumentals that doesn't really connect with me personally. For me personally, I do feel like it's the first one we're going to have to put just in nah, to be honest with you. So it's going there. I don't really like the track at all. So for me, it can't even go in listenable. I've got to drop it down to a nah, unfortunately, and it's the first one to go into that category. So moving on to Joji's second album, which is Ballads 1, his first studio produced album. And the first song on this track is Attention. You can already tell from this track that it's already a big step up in vocals for Joji compared to his In Tongues work. But with that being said, I don't feel like it's still peak Joji as we've seen through some of his singles that he's produced recently. The beefy beat that muffles the vocals gives the song a very interesting dynamic and something that a lot of other Joji tracks don't really seem to have. On top of that, it also has really catchy lyrics, so I can't deny that this song, in my personal opinion, has to go quite high up in this ranking. I do feel like it's a really good song. I'm going to put it alongside Will He in banger. I don't think it's quite God tier. It could be God tier, but for now, I'm just going to keep it down in banger. It is a really good song, but there's some songs that I know I'm going to put in God tier, and this song just isn't quite at those levels. Speaking of God tier, up next is Slow Dancing in the Dark, and I'm just going to put that in God tier straight away, because that's where it belongs. Slow Dancing in the Dark really did put Joji on the map in terms of his musical career. I think it's his most popular song to date. I feel like it has the most views, likes, and I feel like most people know this song compared to the rest of his work. I would say the chorus of Slow Dancing in the Dark were Joji's best vocals up to that date. I think we have some better vocals since, but when this track was released, I feel like it really set the tone for what Joji's going to bring in the future. And I feel like it was the first track that a lot of people really took seriously. I would say it's my favourite song on the album. I especially like its calm, relaxed, but intense backing track. So I don't think there are going to be any arguments about this song going in God tier. Next up is Test Drive, and I do really enjoy Test Drive, although it does sound like a Post Malone song, so it doesn't really give it that originality that a lot of other Joji songs have, but nonetheless it is a really good song. The vocals are quite decent, and there's some really good high notes in the song, and on top of that it is really catchy, and I can't argue that this has to go high up again. So for me, I'm going to put Test Drive in banger as well, and that makes it 3 for banger, tying it with good so far. But I do feel like it's not quite at the level of Slow Dancing in the Dark, but I do really like the song. I really enjoy listening to it. It's on my Spotify playlist, and I listen to it on a regular basis, so for that reason I have to put it in banger. Next up is Wanted You, and I feel like this one is kind of a fan favourite from Ballads 1. I feel like a lot of people think this is the best song on the album, which, don't get me wrong, it is a really good song, but in my opinion, it's not the best song on the album. The song has a really rich backing track with some good high notes, and I do really like the guitar element added to the song. I can't argue that it is a really good song, and I can see why a lot of people really enjoy this song and think it's the best song on the album. For me, it's not quite as good as Slow Dancing in the Dark, and I don't think it belongs in God tier, but with that being said, I do feel like it belongs in banger. So Wanted You is going in banger. It's not quite at the level of Slow Dancing in the Dark. Next up is Can't Get Over You, which is a Clams Casino produced song, and you can really see the difference between this and some of Joji's other work. When I first listened to this song when it came out, I wasn't particularly keen on it, with Joji's vocals throughout the entire performance being quite high-pitched. But the more you listen to it, the better it does get, and right now I really am enjoying the song every time it's coming on. Overall, I do really enjoy this song, although I do not think it's at the level of the ones in banger. So for that reason, I'm going to put it in good for now. I feel like it's a very solid song. It's something different from Joji, and I feel like it is where it belongs. Next up is Yeah Right, and this is one of my personal favourite songs. It has very simple but catchy vocals and lyrics, which kind of helps the song in a way, as it makes it a lot more chill and a lot more easy to listen to. I do really enjoy the song, but I don't think it is a God tier level song. So for me personally, I feel like it does go in banger. I feel like it's a very good song. I enjoy the song. It's not quite a God tier. I feel like banger is a very solid place for it to go. Next up is Why Am I Still in LA? And in my opinion, it's nothing special, to be honest. I would say the only really interesting part is the guitar solo that's within the song. With that being said, I don't hate the song by any means. So Why Am I Still in LA, for me, just has to go in listenable. It's not quite at the level of the songs in banger. It's not even at the level of the songs in good. It's not a nah. It's not an awful song. Next up is No Fun, and No Fun is a playful song. I do kind of enjoy No Fun, as it's a bit slapstick, it's a bit fun, it's not meant to be taken very seriously. For me personally, I am tempted to put it in good, but I'm going to put it at the top end of listenable, above Bit of Fuck. Next up is Come Through, and with Come Through, I'm not really a fan of the introduction to this song. I would say it's quite a weak song with not much depth to it, and I can't put it any higher than listenable. Next up is R.I.P. featuring Trippie Redd. With this song, I feel like it's classic Joji vocals. He doesn't really step out of his element at all in this song. It's very, very safe. Trippie Redd adds something different to the song, but I'm not sold on his over-emotional, auto-tune, a little bit dull vocals. It's another one that's just gonna go in listenable. Next up is XNXX, which is actually a porn site. XNXX has very decent vocals. I do quite enjoy the bells that are in the backing track of this song. The past 4 songs I think have gone into listenable, and I feel like this song is better than all 4 of those. So for that reason, I feel like it has to go in good. Next up is I'll See You in 40. And this track has quite an uninspired backing track, really. The first minute of the song is quite dull and boring, but after the 1 minute mark, the beat is quite cool, and it really steps up the song. I would say Joji's vocals in this track are okay. I would say if the middle part of the song, from 1 minute till I think 2 minutes 40, then the song would be good. I really enjoy that middle part, but the beginning and the end just really put a bit of a sour taste in my mouth, and for that reason I don't feel like it can go in good. So I'm going to put I'll See You in 40. Again, it's another one for listenable. So moving on to Joji's second studio length album, and it is the one he recently released called Nectar. If you want to see my full reaction to the album Nectar, the video has already been uploaded to the channel, so make sure you check it out. The first track in the album Nectar is Ooh, and you can already tell straight away that this is such a big step up in production from what we saw in Ballads 1, and especially what we saw in Tongues. The high notes in this song are really good. It's really impressive to see Joji step up his vocal game and bring something really good to the table. It's going in one of the top tiers. Personally, for me, Ooh is going to go in banger. I feel like it's not quite on the level of God tier, but I do feel like it's a really good song, and what a way to start the album. Next up is MODUS. I really enjoy the mellow, plucky piano chords that are with this song. When the beat and the vocals kick in, it's really good. It's really good, and I really start to enjoy the song. Let's just be honest, the chorus of this song absolutely slaps. I'll be honest, I really love the song, and it's gonna go in that tier. So for me, personally, MODUS is going in God tier. Next up is TikTok, and with this song, I'm not really very keen on the opening vocals. The song does start to pick up when Joji takes over with his normal voice. Me personally, I would put TikTok in good. I don't think it's going up to banger, as the opening part does take away from me personally. But I do feel like it's a strong song, and I feel like it's worthy of going in good. Next up is Daylight, and to be honest with you, I wasn't really sure on this track when I first heard it. With that being said, I do feel like the track has really grown on me, and I feel like it's going to go in good. Next up is Upgrade. Something I heard about this song is that he produced it and wrote it when he was 16 years old, which is quite impressive, to be honest. It is a very short song, therefore you can't really get into the song as it goes by in a flash. So for me, it's another one on this album that's going to go in good. Next up is Gimme, Gimme Love, Gimme, Gimme Love, Gimme, Gimme Love, Gimme, Gimme Love, and I'm gone. I'll be honest, this is one of the catchiest songs on the entire album. As soon as this comes on, I'm strutting my stuff and bouncing around the room. It's very catchy, it's very enjoyable. I'm a big fan of the fast-paced backing that the first half of this song has. When the slow part of the song kicks in, I feel like it really does separate the song into 2 different elements, but they both do go well together. The song goes from chaotic to soothing, and it's something I personally really do enjoy. Gimme Love will be going into banger. Next up is Run. Now this is Joji's best vocal performance to date. It's his best produced song, it's his best structured song, it has the best musical backing. Is it his best song? Yes. Without a shadow of a doubt, Run belongs in God tier. Next up is Sanctuary, which at first I was really surprised that this was on this album because it seems like so long ago that this was released. I do enjoy the space vibes that it brings to the table. I wouldn't really say it's on the level of the God tier songs we've already put there, but I do really enjoy this song, and I feel like Sanctuary belongs in the banger tier. Next up is High Hopes featuring Omar Apollo. I feel like this is where the album takes a drop in production. I feel like Joji delivers very decent vocals in this track. I'm not particularly keen on the chorus of this song, and Omar Apollo's feature is okay. I was going to put it in listenable, but I feel like they mention my boy Rey Mysterio, so for that reason and that reason alone, it's going in good. Next up is Nitrous, and while this song has good vocals and is quite catchy, for me personally, it's not very interesting, and I don't think it holds up to a lot of the first part of the album. I feel like a lot of people will really enjoy this song, but for me, I'm just going to put it in listenable. Next up is Pretty Boy. I feel like this song is something I really shouldn't like, but I love. The song is so damn catchy. I'm a pretty boy living on the west side, living on pills and sipping on fire. See those tears run down my eyes. I tell myself to sleep at night. And what you said, babe. With Lil Yachty's feature, it's something I didn't enjoy at first. As you can see, if you look at my reaction to this song, I didn't really feel the Lil Yachty part. I feel like it kind of took away from the song. However, listening to it a couple more times, I do really enjoy this feature now. There's no denying this song is an absolute banger. Normal People is next, and I feel like this is a very classic Joji performance. I like the slight bassy beats that happen sporadically throughout the track. The higher notes he hits in this track are really good and some very good vocals. For me personally, I would put Normal People in good. Next up is Afterthought featuring BENEE. Well, this song is very catchy, I'll be honest with you. It's quite a simple track and the vocals are decent. It's got a really good chorus, and I feel like BENEE really adds something different to this track and makes it step up that extra notch. For me personally, it's not quite on the level of the songs in Banger. However, I do enjoy the song and I'm going to put it in good. Next up is Mr. Hollywood. This song's chorus is super catchy. Mr. Hollywood, won't you come back soon? It has really good vocals and it is one of my favourite songs on the entire album. Initially, I was going to put this in Banger, but I feel like having listened to it a few more times, it's in God tier. Next up is 777. The opening of this song sounds like an old FIFA song from back in the day. I can't think of which one, but it definitely reminds me of a FIFA song. And even though it has a lower quality production, I don't think it really discredits the song. Personally for me, overall, I don't know if it's good enough to go in good. I'm going to put it in listenable. Now next up is Reanimator. I have a problem with this song. Number one, there's too much intro! There is too much intro on this track. This song gives you so much intro and so little vocals. I would say it is an interesting track, but it's not something I would ever take the time to listen to. It's not something I enjoy. The intro is just too long. I'm sorry, but it's the second one that's going in now. Next up is Like You Do. Now this song is the most emotional song Joji's ever put out. I really love the chorus of this song and I really love the simple verses. I feel like the plucky strings go very beautifully with the song. In my personal opinion, the song's going in God tier, and that's 4 songs from this album I've put in God tier. Next up is Your Man. This song ends the album on a positive note. It does have quite catchy lyrics, but I do feel like they are a little repetitive. Overall, I don't think it belongs in Nah. I feel like it's a better song than Listenables, so for me, it's going to go in good. And I've just realised, somehow I missed them, 2 songs from the In Tongs Deluxe Edition. So first off, we'll go with Plastic Taste. He says the same things over and over again, and it's kind of the same backing track over and over again. You can tell it's an In Tongs production. While it is quite unique, I don't think it belongs at any higher than Listenable. Last but certainly not least, we're going to go back in time to the first Joji song I ever listened to, which is I Don't Want to Waste My Time. This was the first song I ever listened to by Joji, and it's what got me hooked. I was a fan of him during his Filthy Frank days, but I never really dabbled in his music. But then I decided to listen to this song and it changed the game. I don't think it'd be everyone's cup of tea, but due to the big soft spot it has in my heart, I'm going to end this video off with another God tier. It's going in God tier. So what I want to do now is go ahead and arrange all these songs into an order of what I think is the best, all the way down to the worst. So there you go, that is the final rankings. So in God tier, we have Run, Slow Dancing in the Dark, Like You Do, I Don't Want to Waste My Time, Modus and Mr. Hollywood. In Banger, we have Yeah Right, Ooh, Attention, Sanctuary, Pretty Boy, Test Drive, Gimme Love, Will He and Wanted You. In Good, we have Window, Can't Get Over You, XNXX, TikTok, Daylight, Afterthought, Your Man, Pills, Demon, Upgrade, High Hopes, Normal People. In Listenable, we have No Fun, Nitrous, Bitter Fuck, 777, Why Am I Still in LA, Come Through, RIP, I'll See You in 40, Plastic Taste, and in Nah, we have World Star Money and Reanimator. So that's the tier list in full. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Be sure to check out my reaction to Joji's Nectar video. Also, please make sure you like, subscribe and share if you enjoyed today's video. And of course, as always, it's been a pleasure and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.